EMDR therapy. That therapy is for trauma. It's PTSD or CPTSD. So if you are somebody who has experienced a lot of trauma in your past, and I don't know many people who haven't experienced trauma just in general, but if you've had a lot of trauma that you're still trying to overcome from, then you have definitely told yourself a lot of stories about what certain things meant to you in the past. And especially as a child, when you don't fully understand everything that is happening to you at that time, of course you're going to tell yourself stories about what certain things meant. You have to make sense of your world in some way. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading. This is the Awakened Jen. All right, so today we're going to be using the Sacred Spirit reading cards. This is an oracle deck that gives guidance for your spiritual path. And we're going to use the Light Seers Tarot. We'll pull 3 cards from that. That is a progression spread. It's past, present, future. It's going to tell me where you've been, where you're at, where you're headed, so that if we need to make a course correction, we can do that now. All right, so I'm going to set some intentions while I'm shuffling. So the first intention is that anyone who comes across this message, there is something in here for you. I set the intention that anyone who needs to hear the messages that come out in this reading will find it at the exact right time that they need it most. I set the intention that all the messages that come out will be for our highest good. I set the intention that I will be given very clear messages, be given all the right words, phrases, anything needed in order to communicate as clearly and as effectively as possible so that the message can be received as it was intended. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. If you have not already, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. You can hit the bell for notifications, and it will let you know as soon as I post a new video. I post about 4 to 5 videos a week. I do the zodiac readings, but I also do twin flame, ancestor message, angel message, spiritual path, and then I do just some pulling from oracles. I've got lots of oracle decks over here that I pull from. So I have a lot of different things going on, and you can check that out. And like I said, if you hit the bell, it lets you know every time I post a new video. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button. All right. So start with the oracle. Deep breath. All right. What does Capricorn need to know right now for their spiritual path? Capricorn spiritual path. Capricorn spiritual path. Some temptation. Secret temptation. Being led astray. Okay. Deep breath. Past, present, future, Capricorn. Past. We've got 9 of Wands. That is the final defense. Standing your ground. Present. 4 of Pentacles is about building your stability. It sometimes can be a bit greedy, though. Future. So we got 2 cards. We've got the 8 of Swords and the King of Swords. So the 8 of Swords is about removing the blindfolds that you have put on yourself and seeing things for how they really are. And then the King of Swords is about using your logic and wisdom in your leadership roles. All right, so we're going to start with the oracle. Secret temptation, being led astray. Temptations can be everywhere, dependent upon your vices, and unfortunately, there will always be a temptation to the human psyche. We can learn from these vices as they teach us about our emotional triggers prior to our actions. Self-mastery is key. Risk-taking should be avoided now, with careful consideration of any planning of events, career changes, or major decisions. A lack of willpower may influence your impulses. Be strict with your budgets as financial blowouts are significant now. Right now, the truth is yet to be revealed. Be cautious in lending any goods you wish to have have returned as deception is around every corner. Be mindful of any agreements or contracts at this time and seek professional advice where appropriate. If you are in a relationship, you may feel that it's at risk of a third-party influence. Addictions such as gambling, drugs, sex, alcoholism, and even food are indicated through this card. Being tempted by devilish behavior is leading you down a bad path. This health card encourages you to regain control of your life, building willpower and determination using a step-by-step approach for support and encouragement. Ultimately, the temptation to be bad or let loose is having a negative effect on yourself and the people around you. If you are experiencing challenges with your personal habits at the moment, now is the time to develop structured and systematic coping strategies that can help you when you are tempted to be led astray. However, you are a conscious creator, so be accountable for your past and your current choices and seek to change them in the present and in the future. All is not lost, but you must act if you wish to improve your circumstances. Continuing to ignore problems will only make the situation worse. Professional assistance is required now. Seek a suitable health practitioner associated with your specific challenges. Shadow aspect is lack of impulse control, addiction, deception. Angel assistance is Archangel 𝐒𝐄𝐄𝐍. I never say those right. Major change, release destructive tendencies, self-sabotage. Affirmation, I continue to make positive choices. I free my emotional burden. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards to clarify what is the temptations happening right now. So give me some clarity on that, okay? All right, so we've got the death and rebirth, which is about transformation coming in. And this is your home and your spiritual life. This is your 3D life is needing a change. And so we've got the Two of Wands, which in other decks, you usually see it as like a crossroads. It's like a man standing there between two paths and, trying to choose which path to take. So I think that this is, what this is talking about is the transformation. You are at a point where you know that you're hurting yourself. And so it's a time where you've got to take that accountability, the self-reflection and accountability, and start changing, these behaviors that are holding you back, that are leading you down, bad paths. Now, I did do a channeling before I even started, so I want to kind of let you see what else has already come out. So what does Capricorn need to know right now? Authority. You are being given a new assignment and you are taking a lead role. You will be given the authority to handle many important projects and leading and guiding many people. You will be given a little to start with, and then as you show that you can handle that task, more and more will be entrusted to you. With great power comes great responsibility. This phrase keeps being pressed at this time. Your integrity must be at an all-time high right now. This is your chance to prove that you really are the right person for the job. So, this is what, the reason why I was even pulled to speak about that is because if you've got anything right now, any toxic tendencies right now that might, show up and be holding you back from this, that will, because that message was saying is that you're going to be entrusted with little bits at a time just to see what you're going to do with it, to see how you're going to handle it, to see if you really can be trusted, if you have the integrity in place to have the authority that's being given to you. Okay, so moving on with the rest of the reading, we've got the Nine of Wands in the past. That is the final defense, the final stand. Determination, resilience, defiance, the last defense, the final push, excitement for what's to come, finding motivation in the face of difficulties. Don't give up now, you're almost there. As you round the corner towards success, something may surface that threatens your feelings of security and achievement. It's important to remember how far you've come. Don't see this minor deceleration as a symbol of failure. Step into your resilient last stand, one final push to complete this task, and tomorrow you can rest. In shadow, this card suggests that you are making things harder than necessary or being overly defensive. You may even be inadvertently choosing the more difficult path because you believe on some level that healing and ascension should be difficult. Sometimes we become so enamored with our stories of rising up that our own shadows become romantic notions that we seek to defend. Let go of any ideas that you have about navigating specific lessons on the path. Your time to relax into security and success is on the horizon. I push beyond my own perceived limitations and I remain open and trusting as I do. So that is, again, just staying strong, having the resiliency, for to handle whatever comes at you. Sitting in the present is the Four of Pentacles. So that is stability, saving, success, generosity, accepting your worth, being in flow with the universe, feelings of gratitude, helping others in times of need. You're building your life coin by coin, and you've reached a moment of stability. Getting here signifies an interval when you can rest, reevaluate, and take stock. Likely you are being reminded to double check those foundations and to save some money for a rainy day. How do you feel about your finances? Continue toward your goal without over-focusing on your possessions and let go of any jealousy derived from another person's position in life. Negative feelings around abundance will breed energy blockages big enough to hold back even the most magical of trajectories. The tighter you try to hold on to things, the more you block yourself from stepping into the flow of wealth and happiness. If a scarcity mindset is haunting your actions, ask yourself if you are looking down on others based on how much money they have or don't have. Actively save and give in the world and focus on feeling excited and expansive. I live an abundant life and I have more than I need. So right now you are working on building your stability. You are, like I said, coin by coin, you're working on it. You're holding your ground. You're staying strong in the, and this is why these gifts are coming in, is because of what, the work you've already been putting in. So moving to the future, we've got the Eight of Swords. Feeling stuck, a time to open your eyes to unveil the truth, having more options than you thought, an opportunity to let go of an old story. This is a gentle reminder that you create your reality. Look beyond the veil of illusion that your current limitations are projecting. If you are feeling trapped with no path forward, remember that this too is a perspective that can be lifted. When you choose sovereignty over victimhood, you become the fierce wielder of choice. And choice really is your power. That is your power. When people talk about stepping into your power, it is the choices that you are making in this life. When you are choosing what you actually want versus what you don't want, that is you using your power. That is you using your power. You can free yourself from your shackles and shift your outcome dramatically by accepting that you are the one person who is responsible for your happiness. Create infinite portals of possibility by becoming the solution. We are never really stuck. Nurture your soul and spend the time you need to transmute any feelings of helplessness. While we can't control every experience that is put on our path, we can definitely work on how we respond to each one. Let go of old stories and be vigilant about any wallowing, low-vibe thoughts that you may be holding on to. Reframe your experiences as lessons and choose to heal. I am free to choose my healing and my light. And I'm going to say, this card talked about professional help coming in. And so one of the therapies that I have done in the past, and I honestly wouldn't be opposed to going back to do more of it because I had to stop in the process of it because I just wasn't ready to, fully complete it. But is EMDR therapy. That therapy is for trauma. It's PTSD or CPTSD. So if you are somebody who has experienced a lot of trauma in your past, and I don't know many people who haven't experienced trauma just in general, but if you've had a lot of trauma that you're still trying to overcome from, then you have definitely told yourself a lot of stories about what certain things meant to you in the past. And especially as a child, when you don't fully understand everything that is happening to you at that time, of course you're going to tell yourself stories about what certain things meant. You have to make sense of your world in some way. But those stories are not always true. They're true from the perspective that we were at that time, from the understanding that we were at that time. But if you were a child when you made the stories for these situations, these experiences, then you definitely lacked a lot of knowledge and experience and understanding. So part of the EMDR therapy that I did, it took me back to a lot of my childhood experiences. And basically we reframed, the stories. Like, he had me explain what I was experiencing. So basically I was sharing my perspective of that event. And in it, we got to reparent the child. We got to show up for the child. We got to talk to the child and explain, how they were being brave and how empowering the kid that was in those situations that felt completely helpless and powerless. We went back in my history to reparent that child and reframe those stories. The stories are still true. The truth of those stories is still there, but we changed the perspective from the scared little girl that, lived the stories to now from an adult perspective, a more mature perspective, a grown perspective, to be able to look in and say, no, you were not powerless. You were actually very powerful in that moment by the way that you showed up here. It was able to show the strength, and then to be able to kind of reframe the rest of the people in this situation, to see that it wasn't ever a personal to me thing, that it was usually just their own issues. The people who hurt me, it is their own trauma, it is their own pain, it is their own just projections, all of it that caused them to do the things that they did to me. It had nothing to do with me, especially me as a child. So when you're looking about trying to work through the trauma and to reframe these stories, that is a really beneficial therapy that I don't think a lot of people really even know enough about to give it a shot, because you can only get so far with the traditional talk therapy until you have really addressed those very core trauma wounds and really healed from it. And the way that you know that you are healed from things is they don't trigger you anymore. You can talk about them without them bringing up the intense emotions because you healed yourself through that. And in fact, you don't talk about the things as often. So, those are signs of actual healing, is that they don't bother you anymore. You can talk about it without it, re-triggering the emotions that, you stored with the memories. So healing is, it's so important, because you take that with you. Until you heal it, you're taking it with you into every situation and relationship that you are in. All right. That also came out with the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, so I feel like this is the healing. Get yourself clear on what has actually happened for you. And then we've got the King of Swords is intelligence, logic, rules, and law. Clear thinking, a strong communicator and leader, truth and proof, blending mental and spiritual pursuits, bravery and courage. Intelligent and diplomatic, this king leads with facts, rationale, scientific principles, and the logical mind. He has an affinity for rules and thoughts. He suggests finding impartial clarity before you take the next step. Even though he always seeks data and proof, he also knows that blending experience with inventiveness, or blending intelligence with emotional and spiritual energies, allows for well-rounded success. Be courageous in the pursuit of your path and find your own methodical, confident authority by knowing the way rather than just feeling the way. In shadow, this card can suggest using knowledge to take advantage of others. With truthful communication, it's time to help others in a way that is honest rather than manipulative. Find wisdom in your experience and seek to become the success engineer of your life. With confident, clear thinking, you will find your success. I make intelligent and wise decisions about my future. So getting very, very clear about what is actually true. What is the actual truth? And then using your logic and wisdom and experience to help make you make the best decisions to move forward in this life. So let me see. What action can you take right now that's going to help you overcome, to help you heal and overcome? What action can you take right now? Okay. So we got the wheel, which means it's fate. This is just, it is the karma balancing. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which is putting in the work. You've got to do the work. This is becoming a master at your emotions, just mastering that, and then having good boundaries and protection. This is the Seven of Wands, so it's about putting up an energetic boundary around you and knowing, what you will accept and what you won't accept for your life. Is there anything before we keep going in the extended that I want to pull? Let's see. Give me some more information about the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Pentacles, which means this is the harvest coming in, but then we also have the Three of Swords, which is a heartbreak. And then the Page of Cups is about dreaming. Why is the Three of Swords there? Okay, so we've got the Five of Swords, which means an unfair advantage. And then we've got the Knight of Wands and the High Priestess. Okay, so the Five of Cups is about an unfair advantage. So I'm trying to put this together. So it looks like you were working on something and the harvest was starting to come in, but then we got the Three of Swords is about a heartbreak, and this was what was brought in to clarify it. So the Five of Swords is conflict, unfair advantage, experiencing loss, the need to build your skills and confidence, hollow victories. You may have experienced an unexpected loss that has left you a little bit sore. Sometimes life isn't fair, and these iniquities can drain our energy for much longer than they need to. Often it's the fear of failure that does most of the draining. If you are feeling outsmarted or outjousted, remember that one chapter doesn't define you. Wins and losses are both part of your human experience, and the keys to self-improvement lie dormant inside the difficulties. Boost your consciousness, upgrade your skills, and build on this experience. In Shadow, we learn that winning isn't everything, especially when deceit is part of the strategy. The obsessive desire to win can have us stopping at nothing to feel victorious, and in the long run, we risk everything we've built along the way. You may find yourself a few steps backwards after winning if you are not bringing your integrity to the games. The lessons move me ahead always. So, I'm rethinking this a little bit just based off of the channeling that came in. So maybe you were working on something, but you weren't showing up as authentic as you, or with the integrity that it was calling for, and consequences showed up, and consequences hurt. But that does lead to this dreamy spirit. Let's see, that is Page of Cups is a dreamer, serendipity, creativity, new unexpected trajectories, magic and synchronicity, an open and joyful heart, sensitivity and naivety and romance, being motivated by ideas. The world is my flourishing oyster, and I am excited to see what happens next. So you have experienced a loss, but I think that you understand why. And so it's kind of caused you to have to rethink the whole situation, see things for what it is, and now move ahead with more wisdom and logic from the lessons that you have been learning from these experiences. And so it's building this loss is building in you a stronger sense of your intuition, is connecting you, with source, with God, however you call that. And then your inspiration, getting, that renewed joy and inspiration as you start allowing yourself to dream what your life could really be like. Okay, so we're going to stop here, but we are going to go deeper in the extended. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out to the 9-card spread that gives me information about a potential relationship, because so far we haven't had any information about a relationship coming out. So we'll pull that out. We'll see if there's, anything going on with a specific person for you and get guidance for that. We'll talk more about the transformation that is happening. And let's see what signs have shown up. So we've got Death is Scorpio. The High Priestess is Cancer. There's some water signs out here. The Wheel, Sagittarius. Okay, and then the King of Swords is Aquarius, so we're just going to go ahead and put that one in there, even though typically the signs only apply to the major arcana. Sometimes some of the court cards can represent certain energies. Let's see if we have any other ones. We've got Jupiter, which is expansion. What else? The High Priestess is the Moon. And that was it. Okay. So we've got Jupiter and the Moon are also sort of affecting this situation too. All right. So if you want to go with me, that link is down in the description box for the extended. So grab that down below. There's also a link for Jen's 333 Collective. That is a monthly subscription that gives you access to all of the extendeds as soon as they post. There is a link down in the description box if you would like to book a personal reading as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on down there if you want to check it out and grab it. If you have not already, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell for notifications. I do 4 to 5 videos a week. And if you have found this video helpful, I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, or share it with someone else that you think that it might benefit. That helps more people be able to see this message, and I really, really appreciate it. All right, you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and if you're going with me, grab the link below. All right, bye guys.